金の糸がそよぐ優しい優しい調べ月の夜はひそやかな夢と歩いてく
Hello and welcome back to Floating Through Film, episode 83. This week we are finishing our horror month with my picks. I'm your host, by the way, Blake. With a couple of Japanese horror movies that I love. Hiruko the Goblin. I already did it. I already missed that once. And Hiruko the Goblin and Gozu. But before we actually get into anything, let me introduce my co-host Luke.
Hi.
And Danny.
Hello.
Alright, so before we actually get into these movies, we're going to start with Hiruko the Goblin and end with Gozu. But let me ask you guys, what did you think of Hiruko the Goblin? And have you guys seen any other Shinya Tsukamoto movies? Because he is a fairly... I mean, if you're a fan of Japanese cinema, you know who he is, because he's one of the most experimental experimental Japanese cinema, Japanese directors that we have. Yeah. But this one, obviously, we'll get into it, but it's not as experimental. It's not super experimental or anything. It's not what you would even consider really a Shinya Tsukamoto movie, which is kind of one reason I also like it. But what do you guys like? What's your experience with it?
So I've seen one of his other movies, which is Tetsuo the Iron Man, which I'm presuming is the one that most people have seen.
Yes, that is the one.
And I didn't really like it. It's just it felt it's short, but it's I don't know, too
It's only 60 minutes,
place,
but it feels... I agree with you. The first time I watched it, it felt a lot longer than an hour.
But yeah, I really liked Hiruko the Goblin. Did I say that right? I don't even know if I...
Yeah,
Hiruko the Goblin. Okay, and I really liked it.
Hiruko.
Honestly, I kind of loved... my favorite thing about it was just how alive the camera was, really.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of became its own, force in its own right.
Yeah.
And I found it it used the one location thing pretty creatively, and I just had a lot of fun with it, really. And some beautiful images were sitting there you got me.
There are
90 minutes.
No, a lot of green screen. I know that I actually have seen a lot of people I follow on Letterboxd also compare this to Bayashi.
Yeah.
Especially
green screen was fantastically used.
That's honestly what I was gonna say, because that's the movie I was thinking.
That's why Danny hates it.
That's why Danny hates it.
Honestly, it might be better than House.
No, I don't agree with that either.
No, I'm kidding. About the same. No, in a good way. Because I do like this movie too. I enjoyed it. And I've heard of this director. Tetsuo I know Tetsuo the Iron Man's a famous genre movie too.
Yes,
it is sometimes one of the few movies genre fans that don't watch anything past earlier than the 90s. Is Tetsuo earlier than the 90s?
No,
or is that actually
I think
90s?
it's I think it is earlier than the 90s. I think it's right at the tail end.
But basically, you know what I mean. It's
I think it might be right.
It's actually 89.
Yeah, it's the tail end of the 80s.
But either way, I know that's considered an old movie for a lot of people.
Yeah,
but
for
even
sure.
for people that like movies a lot, kind of thing. But but I still never seen. I haven't seen that. This type of genre, his type of genre movies really don't seem like they're my type of thing. I don't know. But I did like this one.
You'd have to watch to figure out.
I would have to watch it. But to stick with this one, because I'd known going in, this was supposed to be more of his, studio movie, more of a straightforward, type of movie than maybe some of his other ones that are more, just more personal to him, kind of, he's more in control of everything.
Yeah.
But watching it, I can kind of see both sides. I can see there's definitely a lot of stylistic, flair that you can tell that's definitely him. Especially in a lot of the cutaway shots or the just random nature shots in between scenes and stuff are actually really great. But you can just tell there's this story that's more straightforward, and it's he's trying to find a way to make it interesting almost.
Yeah.
I like that tension, but
no, yeah. I don't even know how I originally found this movie. I mean, obviously it's Shinya Tsukamoto, so I was just kind of looking at his movies, but this one I saw that you could buy actually a Blu-ray, and it was $25. So I was like, oh fuck it, I'll just buy it. And I watched it. I just put it and watched it. And I honestly loved it the first time because it's got this energy to it where it's definitely a spoof movie, where it's spoofing a lot of classic American movies and classic Japanese movies in my opinion. But like the camera itself, like very Evil Dead.
Yeah,
you guys have seen.
Everyone was comparing that.
Yeah, the camera is very
makes
Evil
sense.
Dead. I mean, it's very much like The Thing. Also, like that's another
Yeah.
one everyone compares it to. Alien, obviously, but like there's a lot of like classic, kind of like classic American horror movies that's kind of spoofing.
It's funny you say The Thing because I think you might have mentioned before about the one location.
Yeah.
Because we just did Prince of Darkness. It had some of those vibes too. Of like,
Yeah, no, yeah, I actually forgot that this was kind of like a one location movie until watching it again this time because I don't remember it being that. But because it does feel like it's bigger than one location, even though you're only at like basically the school. Because they do go to a lot of different like locations in the school, but no, I'm trying to think of what I was like where I was going before that, but
like you were kind of just saying what you thought about the movie or how you found it too.
oh yeah, how I found it. No, one thing that I will say is like one thing that really stood out to me the first time watching this is like it has this like Scooby-Doo energy that I really love also. Like that's the word that came to me this time watching it was like Scooby-Doo energy because it's not Scooby-Doo in like the way it's like fake like everything in Scooby-Doo is like not actually real because everything in this like we'll get into like it's actually like happening. But the way the characters react to everything is just like so Scooby-Doo-ish. Like it's just the best.
I need to go back and watch some Scooby-Doo. Honestly,
I love Scooby-Doo.
Because like what I remember, like honestly, like it's insane. Like the formula of that show, they were like quick episodes. And, like,
they were
stuck to a formula, but it was still like super interesting.
It was just super fun. Like,
yeah, super fun.
Wait, have you seen the movie, the live action movie?
Yes. I haven't in a while.
I go watch that.
That's like a big like childhood nostalgia.
Yeah,
time.
people love that.
Because the one they go to the theme park is the one I have the most nostalgia for.
The show?
The haunted
In the show?
No, in the live action movie. They go to like this like haunted like island.
Yeah, the haunted island is the one I remember.
Yeah.
too,
Like it's like a theme park kind of thing. I remember.
I don't remember.
That's an episode.
My
right there.
Well, we will. I mean, honestly,
We will.
we will
be there.
It was on some list you had. Like, why were you so confident? We're gonna forget about it most likely.
No.
Next horror. Tune in next horror.
No, no.
Tune in next horror month for Scooby-Doo. Oh god.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna forget about those.
Oh, for sure.
I'll remember. I'm built
We'll see,
different.
You are built different.
But dude, I like the Scooby-Doo energy thing though. Like, especially because I didn't have that thought in my head, but the thought in my head in this movie is some of the best shots are the reaction shots.
Yeah.
Of their faces, basically. Yeah, it's kind of got that kind of goofiness.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
scared / goofiness to it. Like both of it.
Yeah.
It's like it's simultaneously goofy and it's not. I like it is. It definitely has imagery that's scary for sure. But I it's just way more so like he's going goofy. And
That's probably why I liked it so much.
Yeah.
Like,
I wanted to have one goofy movie and one insane movie this Halloween season. So and we'll get to Gozu, but it's definitely insane. So, but let's go on ahead and get into Hiruko the Goblin. So, it starts out with with the guy that we'll be following, like a Hiruko, I think is his name. But we see that he's like an archaeologist and. He actually has this line where it's like, "You must be delicate with dead things."
Yeah, and they like freeze frames. I think.
I think it does freeze frame after that, but
he's like smiling.
yeah, it's just kind of introducing you to kind of his character in general. Very, very kind of like Jurassic Park-ish, but this came out. It came out before Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay, what are you implying? What is this guy?
I'm not implying anything. But
wait, hold on. You don't like Jurassic Park?
He said
Yeah,
this
I don't like
before.
Jurassic
It's
Park.
fucking just the
On the
worst. take of all
podcast, he said
time.
this.
did I say on the podcast?
I don't know.
Just to get on record. It's like,
Yeah, he's got.
I don't really like
It's got-
Jurassic
you got it,
Park.
right?
I don't know, like
Usually, yeah.
Stop. Yeah, you're the one who doesn't like
It's one of his
dinosaurs.
worst
either.
things.
yeah, they're cool.
It's one of his worst takes.
It's just like
That's
it's
the
just
same.
like
It's just the same.
I don't know. I don't really like survival movies. I don't think. Maybe. Plus, it's just-
Jurassic Park is more than just a Survivor movie, though.
Is it, though?
Like, yeah, the first half is more just like being in awe of seeing dinosaurs in real life.
yeah, whatever. This is not a Jurassic Park episode.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna have to store this one away to review in the future.
Oh, I mean, we're gonna get to Jurassic Park also. We have
Really?
to.
Wow.
I love Jurassic
when
Park.
is this gonna come out?
I don't
Spielberg
know.
will probably have some movie coming out soon.
Yeah, Jurassic Park's an amazing movie.
We didn't even do the films on the podcast.
We didn't.
No, we didn't do the films.
Yeah, and you gave that 5.
Yeah, that was a great movie. Better than Jurassic Park.
You're the one who was like, we don't really need to review it.
I didn't say that. You probably would want to say that.
Okay.
Anyway,
let's get
we're
back to
sidetracked.
Anyway, we figure out through voiceover that I'm pretty sure we figure out it's like the dad of the main kid that we're gonna be following. Like he sent Hiruko a letter saying that he found this like burial site underneath the school, and it's basically just I think it just explains there's like evil spirits in here that they basically locked away. And I do like that it's cut in, like, the dude's, like, freaking out. Like, you can already see, like, the dude that we're going to be following is just, like, this massive scaredy cat because he, like, freaks out this bug. Like, like, right as he's reading it, like, cuts and he's, like, screams and, like, starts spraying that bug spray at a bug. But, we do, like, before we get to the title screen, we get the Evil Dead camera, basically, as it captures the teacher and the student that follows him, Tsukishima.
So this camera being like dragged back.
Yeah,
that's like an Evil Dead shot.
The camera going towards them and looking at them like from the very and like, that's Evil
that's
Dead
a great
for
shot,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Evil Dead.
I've never seen Evil Dead. So.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
surprising. That actually is a little surprising, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
I saw the first one. I don't remember really liking it that much.
The first one's not as good as the next two. I will say that, but we'll continue. We're introduced to the son of the professor that was taken, and his two friends discussing what they should do about his dad being missing. Like this is like it just honestly like just gets right into it, which I kind of appreciate.
It's just so funny. Like it's only movie logic.
Yeah,
like you cut from the professor dying to the son, unless it happened right away.
It's implied that happened. Like they've only been missing a little bit, but
because it could be just like years later too. Like,
no, because it's not years later because because it's like the dad and the student are missing, and like people are at the school are like saying they ran away together basically and stuff like that. That's the reason they're trying to figure out like where he is.
I like this. Just getting to the point.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they're getting straight.
Oh yeah, it surprised me like how quickly like oh wait, we're in the school now. Oh wait, this is actually happening. Like
yes, and this guy it's even got like the classic horror like groundskeeper because the janitor comes out immediately after that with like his fucking like a scythe and everything like and telling him like stay away. And this is the first instance of like the creepiness that we're about to start seeing because they glimpse. And this is honestly like a great shot. They like glimpse Skishima like through the window in the school as she's talking to that one student, and then like it's kind of like implied that they think that she's about to start like kissing him. And since the guy that we're following, I think his name's Yabe. That's his family name, at least. So they decide to run away because he likes her. But the classic melody, the melody starts playing after they leave, and it's just her singing, kind of. And she kills him. She kills the guy she was like kissing. But the reason we know, I don't know if you guys figured this out, but we know that he's dead because like obviously his back starts burning. Masao, yeah, I think that's his name. That's his actual name.
Yes, that was the first time it burned.
Yeah, that was the first time it burned. Was whenever.
Honestly, those are some of the creepiest shots in the movie of his back because the faces look too good. Like
they look really good.
Yeah.
Like I honestly wish I should have watched the special features because like the makeup effects in this movie are honestly insane.
Yeah, honestly, that's very like I mean. We kind of said like you compared to The Thing, but like both movies have like amazing like special effects that aren't like too real. Like you can tell they're like fake-ish, but they're they're
real in a different way.
We talked about this last in the Prisargas.
The Dark Carpenter movies this comes up a lot.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, there's a decent amount like that in this too.
It's like a good mix of green screen and like actual real practical effects. And then they definitely have stop motion in there whenever it comes to like the spider heads. At least it feels like it. Like there's some stop motion included with that. But continuing on, we get their arrival of Hida like to the school to like that dope ass score. Like I don't know if you guys remember that, but
it's like when he's
it's just like their arrival to the school. But I love the lighting change in this scene as well. Like it does kind of like change. Like it changes from like this. Do you have like a screenshot of it?
A little. It's like from what I'm seeing, the one I have is like like it's more darker. I think it's the sun setting basically.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, because like it's kind of crazy how fast this movie moves. Honestly, like it really does like just get like
fast
straight
until they get
it,
to the school.
And then it slows down. But like we're like at the school.
Yeah,
like this is what I was
school,
saying.
Yeah,
like it's about to start. It's about to like slow down in air quotes, but. Like, we see the marks on Yabe's back after this, and, like, the Evil Dead camera's looking at him. And this is the first time that him and Hida meet, because we kind of just get this, kind of shots kind of cut together of the Evil Dead camera coming after him, and then, like, just this beeping red thing that we don't, like, really know what it is at this moment. And then we just see Hida crash into him, and then, like, he, like, runs out the window, I'm pretty sure, right? Like, isn't that what happens in this one?
I don't remember. Is this when they first run into each other?
Yeah, this is whenever they first run into it. I don't think this is whenever they actually run out the window, but he gets saved by him, and we see the contraption. We see the contraption that he like uses to see ghosts. Very much kind of like a Ghostbusters spoof, honestly, too.
Isn't that something they just find too, or is that something you brought?
No, that's something he brought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was expecting ghosts here because of the message that the professor sent to him.
Yeah, that's very Pokemon.
Very Pokemon. Okay.
Because the goggles in the games, we were talking about Pokemon before this. No, it's like I was thinking of getting a Takashi Kitano also, like because that's also like kind of a spoof movie of classic Japanese movies. But
which movie?
Kitano's getting any?
Oh yes,
like especially the Kitano like parts. That's what I was thinking.
Which in this movie?
Just like the
Kitano horror movie.
Yeah, like it's just yeah. Like
what
the
happens
version of that one. Like he's got like that stupid contraption on his head, like to see the Invisible Man and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
It just has a similar vibe to me.
No, I can see what you're saying. Just like the short little parodies.
Yeah,
episodic.
But after they find this, after like Hida saves him, they end up finding 2 headless corpses. Yeah. And this is whenever like the first time I use the Scooby Doo shit like in my notes because they literally run out screaming. Like they literally run out screaming of the room. Are just insanely scared, but it's like you have to watch the movie because it's honestly like the screams that I gotta get the guy's name because they're honestly both hilarious. Fuck, of course I moved off of it.
Well, one of the guys is he was in Mishima and
yeah, no, he's actually kind of popular. He's a popular actor. Kenji Sawada.
His face is just so memorable.
Yeah, Kenji Sawada is that guy's name. He has some of the best reactions. Him and the other guy. What was his name? Naoto. Yeah. Naoto Takanaka. Like, they're both really great in this movie whenever it comes to their reaction shots, especially.
Okay, this is crazy, because the guy that plays, Naoto Takanaka, that guy, he's in Pokemon the movie. The third Pokemon movie.
He's probably a voice actor.
He's a voice actor.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
It comes full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a knower.
We're just gonna have to like slip Pokemon references throughout all the rest of our episodes.
All of them, maybe.
If you can figure out a way to do it.
If you can figure out a way to.
I'll figure it out. I'll do it occasionally.
No, but I will say, yeah, their reactions are some of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, because we're about to get to like honestly, maybe the best reaction shots in these movies. Whenever they're kind of like getting prepared to rescue Masao's friends because like they figure out the lines have gotten cut, and because we see the the janitor like cutting the lines, which is still kind of weird because the janitor we end up finding out is like a good guy, but I guess he just doesn't want people.
He's just a janitor.
He's just a
janitor.
Ordinary janitor. Most normal janitor. Not joking. Shout out to all my janitors out there.
But as they're looking for his friends, though, like they find another headless corpse, and they figure out that this one's like Aoi. Because I'm pretty sure Hida goes in there like looking, and he sees the name tag of Aoi. But then whenever he walks out, we see Masao looking at Aoi's head in the window.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And he's like, "What are you doing out there?" And they like walks over there. It's just the head like laying in a tree, and that's
a great reveal of like you
is.
see a headless body, and then like a different character sees the head somewhere else. That's pretty funny.
It's funny and goofy, and also like actually kind of scary
creepy,
too.
Yeah,
because like the effects on this on the especially the heads like this are really good. But he's got some disgusting ass effects coming up. I do love how we see the other friend is still actually alive because he locked himself in like a room, and he starts to get messed with by that ghost. Or by like the ghost of the girl, because like if you guys remember all the pots like banging around, moving around, he like goes over and walks over and tries to like find which pot basically she's in, and he opens up the pot lid and he just sees her face there, and then he just like tosses the pot and like starts screaming basically.
Have you ever seen the video of the guy lifting up the pot that's like cooking, and he's like trying to like put something in it, and he's like scared, and then he puts it into the fire.
Oh yes,
I've
seen this video.
It's kind of give me that vibe. It's like
this scene what you're saying though it definitely reminds me of House, like like especially once they're in the school is like it's very similar to them getting possessed in the house kind of over and over again, like especially the feeling of like the characters have no chance.
Yes,
you know, like it's not like they're like the plan they have is gonna. I mean, I guess they kind of come out victorious at the end, but like it really doesn't make sense if you think like it just kind of just like the plot is like oh here's this thing they find like help them, you know,
for sure it is.
That's why I like this first half of it though, where it's like they really feel helpless. Like some of these shots are kind of crazy. I'm just getting like totally freaked out.
No, yeah, they are. They definitely are because like I do love the shot of like we just see the girl's face, like where he threw the pot
like
basically. Like it's he uses shadows so well in this movie. Which if you've seen like his other movies, like like Shinya Tsukamoto is like a really great director. He knows what to do with like his camera and like all of his lighting techniques and stuff are amazing. All of his other movies too, but this also kind of reminds me of House, just in like the effects of like memories, basically, because we kind of see that it's kind of like she brings that guy into her memory almost, or something like that. Because I don't know if this is the first time we see it, but I know like later on we see like the way that she gets to kill people, like she gets people to kill themselves, is by like showing them their worst memory almost.
Honestly, I didn't get that at all.
Really?
Did you get that?
Wait, so okay, so it's like
because like if you guys remember whenever Harada is at the very end of the movie, he like has the face basically connected to his face, and she's showing him the moment his wife died.
Okay, yes.
So it's basically like saying
there's a couple
like
flashbacks like that. Where
it's basically
like
saying like she's basically making them kill themselves by showing them their worst memories that they can possibly.
I thought it was
imagine.
best memory.
Well, that's
like
one reason why it's that's one reason why it's kind of weird because like whenever we see, I think this is the one where she made him cut off his own head. But I don't remember if it's this one or the next one. But we see one of the friends basically that she kills. She brings into like one of her memories. It seems like of like her memory with her family. And then the guy that's like right there with her is like cutting off his own head, basically, or about to cut off his own head. Maybe that's Masa that she brings in. I can't remember, but
no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's like so that's one reason why it's kind of like weird. Like you don't know exactly how she's getting people to kill themselves, but it's definitely like implied that she's getting people to kill themselves.
Oh yeah. That's definitely like a John Carpenter thing too, like Prince of Darkness.
No, it definitely.
Remember that guy in Prince of Darkness literally like cuts his neck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, willfully too.
Yeah.
No, that one was crazy.
You don't cut your own neck?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
I've been possessed by a John Carpenter demon.
Not yet.
Prince of Darkness.
Not yet.
Okay.
No, but this is the next thing that happens is like probably my favorite reaction shot of the movie, where it's they're going in after this other friend that they just basically found his head get cut off, because like. If you guys remember, they basically jump into the room right as his head gets cut off because they just see the blood going everywhere and his lifeless and then his body falls over.
No, yeah.
And then after that, the ghost starts messing with them too. And the head popping out right behind their shoulders is honestly, it's honestly a great jump. Like it's a solid jump scare in my opinion because it's like you're not like expecting it. Like a lot of jump scares, obviously, like. It feels like cheap,
they'll like
honestly,
pause
but
or like for like
they kind of just tease
it
it feels cheap, but this one just comes out like literally nowhere.
And especially watching this head drag across the ground after, it's just so disgusting.
Yes, it's so good, and their reactions are just amazing in this. Their reaction is just amazing in this entire thing. But after this, we start getting more like just like kind of pointless plot elements of like they finally like this notebook tile like Hiruko's tomb, and like how they're supposed to stop it. Basically, it's just like that's why I said it's kind of like pointless plot.
That's exactly what I was saying. They started, I'm almost positive they stumble upon the dad sensor too, the ghost sensor.
No, I think he brings that one. I'm pretty sure he brings the sensor. Yeah,
okay. I'm almost positive they find it because in my notes I'm like somehow they have like
it's stupid. It's stupid, but in a good way. That's kind of
it just keeps it going. Yeah, they don't focus too much time on it.
Yeah, but this is the first time that we see Tsukishima's like head spider body, like the thing kind of like reference, because she starts singing the melody and then her head just starts crawling away, basically.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's so stupid, so good. But this is another great part of the movie where they're like it's at night again, the school. And they're just kind of like talking at the bottom of their stairwell, and if you're looking at the back of the screen, you just see like the shadow of like the spider head kind of crawl behind them, and then they notice that someone's like watching them, and you just see the head like right up there. It's such a good shot. This is why I thought we're getting to. Oh wait, no, that's further ahead. Sorry, I was getting a little too excited, but we see. the next thing I have is like the techno music as they run away from the head. As they run away from this is another reason why I say it's kind of like just a spoof of like classic horror movies because it's just got like this techno goofy shit as they're like running away from the head that's chasing them.
Is it a spoof or is it just a horror classic?
No, it's definitely a spoof because it's also like playing on the alien thing with the sensor. Like it's like
I feel like this
because like if you
definitely a spoof.
I think it's trying to have both ways.
Like
It's having both ways.
What's a spoof?
It's trying to be scary at parts too, for sure.
It's goofy scary though.
Yeah, like it's like
yes. No, you're right.
I don't think it's like
it's more about the
ever,
music.
like, super
That's
scary.
why it's like it kind of feels like House too, because it's like the music is very
the melody,
cheerful, kind of like contrasting it.
The melody she sings is a lot like the melody in House. I feel like, or it has the same type of.
Also,
vibes.
like I don't know if we're there yet, but we're also gonna get a shot of her playing the piano, where just the upper half.
We're
of the
almost.
body.
That's we can just.
And
get
that's
there
like that feels very
that's
House-ish
basically
too.
the next one. Yeah, the next thing that I had is like they get split up basically as they're running away from the head. They get split up.
Like that feels like a House homage almost.
I honestly thought
Gorgeous.
it was a little bit.
Yeah,
but
Gorgeous. Like she kind of looks like Gorgeous.
She does, dude.
honestly, damn.
Because like they get split up and Moscow just like where he's running, he just sees like I think it's a tiny piano. It looks like a tiny piano. But to him, it might be a real one. I don't know.
Either way, it's a great
shot, regardless. But
to be like, oh, here, there she is. She's okay.
she's
and
like,
oh,
Tsukushima. Tsukushima, is that you? And then he just like trips over his own feet like a head ass and like falls and sees there's no legs underneath.
Oh, that'd be insane. That'd be insane.
Oh, and like this is like another.
But at this point, like you can't be shocked by anything.
Yeah, no.
Like you've been here too far much. You can't be shocked.
too much.
Honestly, you should just be like, you should not have.
That's
no
honestly
expression.
that also makes me remind me of the House because House is the same way. It's like at a point like
when stop screaming.
When the guy turns into like the bananas in House, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
I do love the jump scare as he's trying to leave also because like she like whenever he's like closing the door, her face just gets right there
On the window, yeah.
The next thing I have in my notes is just Masao gets a chainsaw. And I don't know why I just had that there. Like I'm pretty sure it's just because he just got a chainsaw somewhere. But her head, like the next thing that I have is like her head appears right above him and just like kind of starts drooling on him. And he looks up and sees it. I don't know. This is where he gets. This is kind of where I was. So this is the memory that I was talking about, where it's a memory. It looks like it's a memory of her family that she's showing him, and then it's basically making him cut his own head off.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like I don't know exactly how.
Yeah,
but
it's like because the dream ends with like her saying, "You're pretty worthless. Why don't you kill yourself?"
Yeah.
And then
that's
he's like
what it
about to
was.
kill himself. I think the other guy comes.
The other guy comes and saves him. This is where I got confused before because this is like he comes and saves him on a bike and then they ride the bike straight out the window.
Yeah.
And then land on the ground below.
I will say like okay, because we're about to do Bresson next week.
Okay.
And there's certain things like
Bresson, Hiruko
when he talks about his genre and stuff, like basically like you know how this character, the son, you know the father is already dead in the movie.
Yeah.
So basically in a genre movie,
He's not dead yet.
Yeah. Well, no. Basically the son can't die. You know what I mean? Because like since he's a good guy, and the father's already dead, he basically can't die. So basically, we know he has to get saved in this last. Like every time he's about to die, we know he has to get saved.
But his dad's
So
not
to me,
dead.
it takes a lot of the tension out of a lot of the movie, what the movies are trying to go for.
Yeah.
You know, and he talks about that like I don't know if you saw that quote I posted on Twitter where he said like the mechanism is a trap, and I posted a scene from Four Nights of a Dreamer.
Yeah. Okay.
But like this is kind of what I was like that was an example of like that's been in my head like when you like there are certain like genre or like formulaic movies where they introduce a character or a character type. It basically has to go that way no matter what, you know. So almost like, but they still try to play it like there's tension there, and that's what annoys me with a lot of horror movies. And stuff.
Ripper-san, you would have loved Hiruko the Goblin. No, I'm joking.
No, but there's a lot of horror movies that aren't like
yeah,
that. You know, where like you can still like there's true tension where like that character could literally die at any moment. You know.
Yeah.
But a lot of horror movies, especially when you're following a lead character, it's like we know they're not going to die. They have to be saved. You know, we're like 45 minutes of the movie. You know, we're not far enough yet.
This is pretty far in the movie, but also his dad's not dead.
We're probably like 50 minutes in. I mean, it's a short movie. Like this one, wouldn't be surprised if he actually died because it does feel like that kind of movie a little bit. But still, I'm like, they're still being like they want you to cheer for him. You know, he's kind of like the good guy.
No,
like,
he is.
We've already had the sympathetic, like the father's dead, so we already feel sympathy for him.
Yeah.
You know,
But the dad did not die.
because like we already mentioned the first time this kid gets his ass saved too when like on the wheelchair. Was it a wheelchair or something? Where
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
was like, there has to be some crazy way for him to get saved every time.
Yeah. He's the classic hero.
Well, the other guy's the real hero.
Yeah. No, because after this, like, they kind of set up these boxes before. Like, there was a scene that set up these, like, sticky boxes before to catch her. And you're like, this is never going to work. But then, like, after they ride the bike out the window, they kind of just fall into those boxes and it actually works. Yeah. Like, they actually trap her for, like, a split second. Like, this is another great shot. I don't remember seeing the still in your thing, Danny, but it's just like a still of like her face like burrowing out of the box and just like sitting there looking at them through the box like that. It's just a really good shot. But this is whenever the janitor kind of starts coming in and playing a bigger part. We see the janitor kind of like dies in this scene where they trap where they trap her. Because we even get like a shot of like Masao's back burning again.
Is that a dream or is he dead? The janitor.
So the janitor's alive. No, but the janitor's alive.
When he sees this like kind of hellish scene.
Yeah, no, that's the dream that the janitor talks about afterwards. I'm just saying like what happens before that even is like the janitor you think dies.
Yes.
Like, because I even had in my notes, like, I was just writing as it was happening, like, the janitor dies.
No, yeah.
But then he's there the next scene. Because, like, he dies, and then Masao's back, like, even starts burning. And then, like, the next scene, the janitor's there.
I was thinking I wrote the janitor.
Yeah, but then you also see that he's already, like, on Masao's back also. So he's, like, not
No, because he keeps being really worried about his back, too, and we don't know why.
Yeah.
And so this is, like, the scene where we find out, like...
Yeah.
Honestly, this is a creepy ass scene.
Oh, it's a good scene. It's one of the best.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like those faces on the back are just make me so uncomfortable.
It's so cool. It's like
they're like too realistic.
It reminds me of John Carpenter. That's the type of stuff that reminds me of John Carpenter.
A back should be a blank canvas.
You know? Yeah, like Prince of Darkness literally had the cross. You know, that was like a sign. Honestly, these are worse. It's like huge ass faces.
No, yeah, no, they're just. I mean, honestly, it's just.
Even though these faces will come back at the end of the movie.
No, they do. I mean, this vision will come back. This dream will come back. At the end
it's the same dream.
Yeah, that's how he gets the idea to actually do it. But we do figure out like the janitor goes off and kills himself at the end of this scene because it's at least he's already possessed or something? Like he's already dead is my opinion. Like,
it seemed like he's like
he's basically already dead. Like he's already he's already on Masao's back. Like we've already like he that's the thing. Like he's so curious about his back because he sees his face on there.
Okay.
And so it's like he's alive, but he's not alive because he's already been claimed basically.
I remember when it shows him like walking back. It shows him like a quick shot of his ear, and he's like.
Yeah, he's like
you see a little bit.
Yeah, you see a little bit of something sprouting there.
And that's the sign that he's definitely gonna go kill himself.
Yeah. But before he goes and kills himself, he does recount that dream that we were talking about that like 5-year-old with the heads on his back and the horns. And like I wrote this down at the very end of that scene, just like this is what Halloween is all about: watching goofy and dumbass horror movies about ancient curses with heads sprouting legs and shit. Yes. Like it really is what Halloween's all about. That's one of the reasons I also love this movie. But this is the shot that I think that we're using in our YouTube still is the shot of the school that we see them looking like we see them at the top of the hilltop like from a huge distance looking down at the school, and this is how they figure out like the school actually was built on the burial site because like up to this point they haven't actually found it yet, so they go looking for the burial site after this. Like they actually like pinpoint where it is using some stupid like it's just more stupid plot stuff. Like it really is just stupid plot stuff about like how they actually find the entrance to the school because to the tomb because like the student figures out it's like under the shed or something and they go and find it. But these are like where I feel like this is where like the Obayashi influences start coming more because it's like at least the green screen influences because these are like great green screen shots of like we get like see all the goblins that like in there like looking up at the moon because like the shot of them just like walking into the burial mound at the very beginning is like just great to begin with.
Yeah.
But then like we get the aliens looking up at the moon. Actually, no, we aren't using the.
I'm back.
You're back.
My nose started bleeding in the middle of that.
I assume that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. There's paper towels there too.
But I actually think that we changed the still that we're going to be using. We're going to use the head floating on the lake in this scene.
Yeah.
Because I didn't write down. I don't think I wrote down the quote, but there's a quote where they're looking at the goblins down the pit, looking up at the moon, and then they're looking at Hiruko, like the head floating on the lake, looking at the moon. And then one of them says, like, maybe she just got tired of looking at the moon and actually decided to, like, get out. Like, go out and try and get to it, basically.
Okay.
Like, because I think that's like, a quote that they said at that time. But this is where, like, the movie wraps up kind of quickly after this, because it's just, like, the fulfillment of prophecy type cliche stuff at the end of these type of movies. Like, it is cliche, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it is.
Like, it is.
It's
like,
more about the visuals, though.
It is more about the visuals.
Especially when they're finally seeing this, like, kind of...
Yes, because, like, we see, like, his dad... This is what I was saying with, like, your whole, like, dad being dead thing. His dad's not technically dead yet, even though he is. But, because we see his
this
dad...
is, like, kind of hell, isn't it? Like...
I mean, he's kind of... I don't know. I mean, it's not... We see
what
he's,
is
like...
this place? Like...
It's just the burial mound for Hiruko. So it's like not really hell. It's just like a spot where all these demons are kept, basically, or it's like a place where this demon got sealed. Basically, is what's implied. But yeah,
I was getting some
like,
Dante's Inferno vibes.
Honestly, yeah, kind of. Because I love.
They keep talking to people that are
dad.
stuck in that place,
yes.
And this is like one guy that's stuck in this place.
No, are you talking about the forest one? The people stuck in the forest.
I'm talking more about the pits. Remember, like there's like people stuck in like pits. I'm pretty sure, like in
at the very end of the movie or something. Yeah,
and they're like talking to him, and you can only see their heads.
Yeah, no, that is a lot like this one too.
But there's so many Dante's Inferno influence horror movies and stuff.
No, I do love this ending though.
But it does, especially
because like the effects on the dad's face is so good. Like his face just looks kind of like super creepy, and then you actually get the shot of like the thing like detaching from his body.
Yeah,
like it's such a good shot. I love it.
That's a disgusting shot.
It's a disgusting great
too,
shot.
Like when the neck just like stretches.
Yeah, no, it's a disgusting.
Anything with like necks, like I can't stand necks being like
necks breaking. Or...
Just like the neck has to be normal, you know. But like, I apologize.
And honestly, like I'm glad that I was reading my notes at this point because I would have forgotten this. But he like one of the funniest moments happens in this movie, like at this point in the movie, where like as the dad's like tearing his own head off, basically, he does like yelling to Yabe or like shouting at him like really breathlessly, like run, like he's just so scared. But yeah, like so basically they're just kind of like running out. Your nose is like really bleeding. Holy shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we'll stop calling attention to it, I guess. But the goblins are basically attacking at this point, so they're running out of the burial tomb. And as they're running, the goblin they actually seal it back completely. And they actually think they've won at this point, but then they figure out that Hiruko got out and is on his back. He ate his back or whatever his name is. You guys remember this? Because this is where, like, the shot that you'll see, like, the header on Letterboxd is. Yeah. Of, like, the arm just kind of, like, going around his face.
Oh, yes.
And this is where we've already talked about the dream that she showed, or the memory that she shows him of... It's just basically his worst memory ever of his wife dying. As he's, like...
that's where you get the worst memory.
Yeah, like, because, like, this is his worst memory of his wife falling off to her death as he's, like, digging for... Like, he's at an archaeological dig.
Yeah.
And in the memory, as he's trying to reach out for her, like his feet are stuck in sand, basically.
Yeah.
But this is intercut with like his battle is intercut with Masao figuring out he is the child of prophecy from the janitor that the janitor was talking about. Oh, it's so stupid.
When you say it,
whenever you say it out loud, that's so stupid. But he ends up starting to recite like whatever they have to recite to close. And I actually think the recital is like a myth from like a Japanese creation myth kind of.
Oh, okay.
Like at least that's kind of what it reads like at least. But yeah, he's like reading that. He puts on the crown. And then you see like kind of the shot from the vision that we saw before of his back and like the fire all around, him with the helmet on and stuff like that. And then all of them get locked up in there. And then it's like a happy ending for everyone. But we do see they go back to the school, and then we see all those all the faces going into space. Yes. Like they're
I do appreciate how long it spends on this like happy ending.
It does spend quite a bit. I like it too.
Where they're out of the school and then like they see the forest and like the water. Like I think his cousin says something to him, doesn't it? Like one of these faces.
No, yeah, Tsukushima has like says something to her.
Yeah.
I don't think if she like actually can say anything, but she like mouths something to him basically.
It's like a huge green screen face.
Yeah, or maybe it's like goodbye or something like that. But yeah, they just fly off, and then like I really like the last shot of this movie is one of the best shots in the entire movie of just like Hieda walking away. Yeah, just like walking away, kind of like just his top hat on. It's just like great colors. Honestly, I was thinking the same thing whenever I was watching it, but yeah, that's the end of Hiruko the Goblin. So
another cloud shot. We'll have to put that in the
another cloud. Oh, okay, yeah.
At the end of this one too.
Ongoing project that has gone off the ground. Anyway,
we're still we're still considering ideas.
Oh yeah.
Options.
Yeah, we're doing.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. But now we're gonna move on to no break this time. We're gonna move on straight into Gozu.
Yes, sir.
So this is the one that I was honestly very interested to hear you guys talk about.
Yeah.
Because I love Gozu. First off, like I scarred two of my best friends watching this. Your brother Luke, I scarred for life, and then Richie, your brother Danny, I scarred for life.
It's like a we took watching this film personally. Not
yes, no. I watched this movie for the first time I think back in 2019, just because I had been watching Miike. I've seen quite a few. So this is like it's directed by Takashi Miike. Another, if you're a fan of Japanese cinema, you know who Takashi Miike is.
And we've reviewed one of his movies on.
Yes, we've reviewed Audition already. But he is a massively popular Japanese horror director. And so I had never seen Gozu before 2019, obviously. And so I was like, oh, you guys just want to watch this movie? It's by this Japanese horror director that I like a lot. And, I mean, he's a little crazy.
Did you say, like, it's not going to be that weird? Like,
I mean, I did say that. I did say that because his movies are weird. Like, Audition's weird. You guys have seen Audition. It's weird, but it's not like... It's not this weird.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting this type of weirdness whenever I went into Gozu the first time. And oh boy.
Yeah.
Is it something?
It's something.
But I will say, watching it again, man, I love Gozu. I think it is my favorite Takashi or Miike movie, which is saying something because I do love a lot of Miike's movies.
That's crazy, but not.
But before we actually get into Gozu, I want to hear your guys' opinions on it because this is why I chose it. Honestly, I wanted to make you guys watch this movie.
I mean, I think I liked it. It's definitely maybe I think I probably would have liked it more if it was like maybe like 90 minutes. 130 minutes maybe for this type of concept, maybe a bit too long for me.
Yeah.
But I still think I enjoyed my time with it. I kind of liked how it kind of like slowly got weirder and weirder. Like it wasn't like it was kind of like you see some things in the background that are like kind of like off, and then basically it kind of just devolves into what it became.
It's kind of like in the Mouth of Madness in that way, where it's like basically like a slow.
That's actually what I was going to mention.
Devolution into a madness.
That's the movie I was thinking of, especially like once they're in the hotel.
Yeah.
Or like kind of just this craziness of this hotel and like whether these people are real or not. Like that's definitely felt like in the Mouth of Madness, but I feel very mixed about this movie. There's some things I really like about it, and I guess we'll get into it. And I think there are some interesting actually themes in the movie because I know you mentioned Katana, but I don't know. There's just other parts that it plays to my like things that I don't like about a lot of movies in general too. So I guess we're gonna get into that. But
I mean, you can give it. What do you like?
Even on like shots,
voice it.
Like even on certain shots where like they're crazy, I don't even mind the craziness. They just hang on them way too long. Especially at the end, I'm like, oh my gosh, we get it. It's just over and over.
It could hang on longer, honestly.
Like, I guess he's trying to like see if he can just keep going crazier and crazier with every shot, almost. Yeah. But I don't know. But I do like this guy, like the brother character. Like I like kind of like that theme of the. He's like about to kill his brother. Basically, he's trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And then like the whole movie comes about him trying to save him.
Yes.
Because of what's happening to him.
This is why. Like I don't actually like I don't know who Miike likes in terms of like who his influences are. And I don't think like Oshima or Katana were influenced by, or like he was influenced by them, especially probably not Katana because they've been like making movies at the same time. But I did have in my notes, like as I was watching it, that it does have a lot of elements that we've seen in Katana and Oshima's movies before, at least in terms of like this brotherhood that is really just a code for men wanting to fuck each other almost. Because, like, that's really, at the end of the day, what Gozu is basically kind of about. Because, like, it's about these two brothers that want to have sex, but to have sex, one has to basically change into a woman first for it to basically be alright. Or, like, at least, like, that's basically how the ending kind of
was he trying to kill him at the beginning?
Oh, yes, he was.
Okay. That's what I was like.
No, yeah, he was.
Yeah. No, because I think that's true, also what you're saying, but it's also, like, I think the more the Yakuza part is what's also true with Kitano is a lot of the people in these kind of gangs and stuff, like, they're not thinking through their thoughts. They're not thinking through everything that well. Like, at one moment, if they're told to kill this guy, they'll kill him, and the next moment, like, they can easily be swayed to do the opposite.
Yeah.
When he sees the brother as a girl, and now all of a sudden it's like
it's not even once he sees the brother as a girl. Like, we can go ahead and kind of get into it. Like, we'll go back to the very beginning later, but like after he's already like kind of knocked the brother out. Whenever the Yakuza car comes up. Like, that whole scene with the Yakuza car. Like, he kind of knocks his brother out. And then he comes to that end of the road where it's, like, the water. And he slams on his brake. And, like, it's one of the funniest parts of the movie whenever he slams on the brake. And then Ozaki, like, fucking just face plants into the chair in front of him. And just kind of, like, falls over like that. Because, like, it goes into, like, kind of what you were saying. Where he's got this job to kill him. To, like, bring him to the dump, basically. Which is just code to, like, kill him. And then whenever he actually thinks he does at this moment, he's like... Fuck, this wasn't how it was supposed to go, basically. I didn't want to actually kill you or something like that. Because he, like, starts freaking out whenever he finds out he, like, actually killed him.
It's weird, yeah. It's like, that's what I'm saying.
It's like, this is what you're supposed to be doing, and then you're freaking out whenever it actually happens.
Yeah. It's like, that's definitely a Katana thing, where, like a Yakuza movie told from the perspective of, like, a grunt, almost. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing, really, or at least showing one angle of that side.
Yeah.
That's because, it's like, I couldn't tell if he was trying to kill him or not, because he keeps calling him brother, too. Like, really showing respect. Like, all of his memories are kind of like you're saying. It is true, like, well, I think what you're saying, like, they want to fuck each other, but I think there is a power dynamic, too. Like,
for sure.
He likes this, like, brother guy being his boss, almost. You know, like, that weird dream. I think he has that one weird, very weird dream sequence where he's, like, gives him, like, crotchless panties.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but exactly. Damn, Luke. But no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it is very weird. Like, I think when you said Katana first, I wasn't seeing it, but I'm like, okay. It's more about the first half, because the second, honestly, just the last like 15 minutes is like what I think of first when I think of the movie now.
Yes, sir.
So I'm being refreshed now, but the first half of this movie.
Well, I mean, it's 130 minutes.
It's like I forget about the slow burn parts of it.
Oh, that's one reason why I like the movie so much, is it is a slow burn. I guess I did. Did I even give my thoughts? I guess I kind of...
because you said it.
Yeah, I said, like, I kind of said, like, my opening experiences with it. But no, I love this movie because it's, like, it's simultaneously one of the most uncomfortable viewing experiences you'll ever have, along with being one of the funniest fucking movies of all time. Like, Gozu's hilarious. Like, this movie's so funny, man. Like, I think this movie's hilarious.
Well, I mean, it's got parts.
I mean, this movie's funny, man. Like, it's funny. It's just so absurd. Like, everything he's seeing is so absurd. To, like,
I'll agree with that.
Honestly, to this point where you just have to laugh.
I think if
it's so unnerving, too.
I probably would find it funnier.
Well, it's also just...
helps, like,
I mean, it doesn't lose how uncomfortable it is. Like, how unnerving. Like, it gets under your skin. It gets under your skin, for sure. Like, it doesn't lose that on a second viewing. Like, I can tell you that right now. You'll still be uncomfortable, but it's still just so funny. Like, I don't know. I mean, we'll definitely get into it because, like, it starts off fucking hilarious. Honestly, in my opinion, like, it starts off in the diner with then, like, all the Yakuza at the diner, and then, like,
this dog.
The dog is what I wanted to get to because, like, the boss is basically talking about, like, we see, like, he's this woman-loving, like, old man, basically, which we find out later that Ozaki doesn't like. But whenever he starts talking about it, Ozaki, like, kind of stops and says, hey, come out here. And did you see that dog outside, basically? And he's like, what dog? And then, like, they go and look at it. And you see just this, like, little tiny chihuahua. And he's like, that's a Yakuza attack dog. It's trained to kill Yakuza. And then the guy, like, the boss isn't, like, really getting it. He's not, like, he doesn't, like, understand what he's trying to, like, really say. Yeah. And so he starts, like, he just kind of walks, kind of just starts laughing, kind of trying to ignore him. And then the other guy, we see, like, Ozaki just goes out there, fucking just picks the dog up, flings it on the ground, like, just starts flinging it around, kills it. Like,
it's brutal.
It's brutal, but it's brutal in, like, just this ridiculously funny way, too. I love dogs too.
So
like,
yeah,
that's the thing.
like,
Oh, like,
honestly,
no,
dogs
yeah.
get funny,
I see what you're saying. Like, well, yeah, they're like this. How can this be a attack dog kind of thing?
It's just like he has
way.
this story about a Yakuza attack dog, and then he cuts, and like Miike chooses to cut to just this like little. You just see this tiny ass Chihuahua, and then like, yeah,
It just
I
goes
think
too long, but
hilarious.
part of it is kind of what I'm saying though. It's like it just goes too long. Like maybe a couple hits of the dog, but it goes a while. Like
It's not that long.
There's some sounds too.
No,
that,
there's
like,
some sounds for sure.
Like we could have got it with one.
It does lead to a great shot though.
But that just like honestly hinting of like towards a lot of these last shots. Or like honestly, the shots are really impressive. Like. I mean, okay, we'll get to it.
Well, I mean, this shot at the very end of this scene is really good because, like, he slings the dog onto the window
Really
last
good.
time.
Yeah.
The dog falls like it's off the screen, and we just see him looking directly at the boss as like the blood starts trickling down. Oh, it's a
And that's
really
when it
good
cuts the
shot.
title card. Right
And that's whenever it cuts the title card.
Yeah, at that point I knew what I was getting in for.
Oh, for sure. But then we see, like, we get basically who we're going to be following the rest of the movie with. We see that he's a driver for Ozaki.
The brother.
Yeah, the brother. Like, they're obviously, like, brothers in the Yakuza. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone, you probably knew that from the very beginning. But, these are honestly some of the best shots because it's like, I love the shot whenever they go to the, they, like, stop where the brother can talk to him because he wants to, I think he has to piss or something. Like, that's the reason why they stop.
Yeah.
Because he's like pissing on the riverbank, and then Ozaki comes over and talks to him, and that shot of them just like standing on the riverbank is just really good. I don't know, I just really like that a lot. But he's basically Ozaki at this point is basically just telling I can't remember the guy's name. I think I have it here later.
Minami?
Yeah, Minami. Yeah, Minami. He's telling Minami basically his plan to like get rid of the boss because he thinks with his dick basically.
Yeah.
He's too old to be thinking like that.
I mean, we'll get to some. That just made me think of this boss character.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But, oh god.
Well, I mean, the boss character
this is what
comes
this
back
movie does to
very.
people, like,
The boss character comes back fairly soon because like we've already talked about the Yakuza car scene. Like he basically is like looking back. Like Ozaki looks back, sees this car, and then he like kicks Minami in the back and makes him stop the car. And then he gets out and draws his gun, like hides, and then he tells Minami about like this Yakuza car, which is used it's like after them because it's like after Yakuza, and then it actually is really kind of creepy because you see like
There's a car following them.
yeah, Ozaki goes and actually like pulls a gun on the lady in there, but it's a really creepy shot because she's just staring at him with like a bloody nose, smiling as he's just pointing his gun at her, and like as he's about to fire, Minami saves her and everything, and she just drives off, but. After this, he like knocks him out and he calls the boss. And whenever the boss picks up, he has a spoon in his ass. He's fucking that girl. It's already happening. Like,
you wish that would be it. You wish that would have been the end of it. It's unfortunately not.
No,
Unfortunately,
that's like a
not.
common thing though. Like, come on, you know the feeling.
No, but either way, like I think it does go to the point like these are the men in charge of them too.
Yes.
Also, trying to just like the Yakuza kind of stupid, like all of it. You know, that's definitely a Katana thing. Like
Yes,
these
for
men
sure.
are supposed to be these big bosses, and these gangsters are kind of stupid too. And like you can tell this guy's like he's like pathetic at this point. Like this is what it takes for him to get hard, basically.
Literally.
And he's like literally on the phone talking like as he's having sex, and it's like
yeah.
it doesn't look fun at all. It like looks terrible. But
I wouldn't say it doesn't look bad.
that looks fun to you. I mean,
I mean, I don't know that.
Okay. Damn. Tell us how you really feel.
I'm joking.
Okay.
Kind of.
we'll put that in the montage.
We will. We do like I forgot to mention he's making this call from a creepy ass restaurant that we'll visit a couple times in this movie.
Well, and
where it's like
you should have learned the first time about leaving a body just in the car.
yes, leaving a body in the car. Yes, because like you don't really know what's up with this restaurant whenever you see it the first time, but you know something's off because like. The guy at the phone is just saying the same thing about being hot all the time.
Or he's at this is the guy at the table, I think.
Yeah, it's at the table. He
Or he
starts
might be
off
at
at
the
the
phone.
phone. He's at the
Okay.
phone first, and then he goes to
Yeah,
the
he's,
table
like, saying
saying
the
the
whole
same
time.
exact thing. And then this is the first time that we kind of get this refrain that gets used throughout the entire movie of "You're not from Nagoya, are you?" Where it's like,
Oh yeah.
because he gets complimentary like soup with his coffee, and he eats that, and he goes and pukes it up basically. And then this is where he comes back after that, and it's a great shot because you can see there's no, like, if you're paying attention, like, you can actually see there's no body in there's no body in the car whenever he walks back, and then he, like, looks behind him and sees like Kazaki's gone. And I love the color palette change in this scene too, because like it changes. I'm sure that you see it like in there, like it changes from like normal color to like this deep yellow or like this like dull yellow, basically. I don't like it's a choice, and I like
that's
it.
Like,
it,
or is that kind of saying like this is like the start of him being in the
it's like
hotel or whatever? You know?
Yeah, it's like his descent into madness. Basically, starts here. Basically,
which we see the. Have you talked about the woman in the background that's like repeating the same thing too?
Yeah, well, I think it was a guy.
Is it?
No, yeah, it was a guy.
Was it a guy?
It was the temperature.
He'll come back later. Yeah,
he comes back later too.
Yeah.
Just like but that's like it's like something in the background that's like so unsettling.
Yeah, but the boss that he called and is having sex on the phone or whatever, he tells him that he needs to find the Shiriyama crew. Basically,
this is where I was saying that we see the boss with the first
with a spoon in his ass. Yeah,
I love how we keep coming back to it. Like,
well,
we just can't let go.
The last time,
and we will come back to it again.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes, we will.
You're like, I should have said that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna say some things really great. Like, hopefully, my future employers don't find this up.
We'll link it to them. Don't worry.
Okay, gotcha.
But
just put Luke's scene like the bit like
yes.
You'll want to hear this.
You'll want to hear this. But the boss gives him basically this address of where the Shiriyama crew is, and it takes him to like this temple in this town in Nagoya, basically. And the priest says he doesn't know anything about it, obviously, because they're a temple. And he says, "Why don't you ask the police?" And I love this shot of him asking the police too, because it's just honestly it's another like really funny moment of like it shows the cop, and he's just kind of like looking like this, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing over there?" And then just cuts to Minami just like kind of like hiding behind a phone booth, just kind of like looking at him like this, and then he like just kind of walks over and gives him the address and says, "Okay, can you help me find this?" And then I like the shot of just them like sitting there. Also, like, do you have that shot in there?
No.
Oh yeah, you didn't take stills. Of course not. Damn. No, it's just a really good shot of them on the street, and you see the countryside like behind them, because it's another moment where the police officer basically asks like, "You aren't from Nagoya, are you?"
Yeah, he says that.
He says that, and then like as Minami's driving off, he gets a flat tire, and this is how.
Why does he get mad at the cop? Because he like leaves.
Well, he's
he
a
like
Yakuza guy, so.
Wait, what?
I mean, he's a Yakuza, so.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't like.
But
cops.
he asked for his help, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'll find it myself." And he just gets mad and then leaves.
Yeah. Well, it's because the address that.
I wasn't sure if the cop said something offensive too.
No. I don't think that is. I think it's because the cop he gave him the address, and then he told him it was the address of the temple that he was just at, basically.
Oh, okay.
And so it's just like it wasn't useless anyway. At least that's why I think.
No, because the cop says he's not from Nagoya either. He says he's from Hong Kong.
Yeah, the cop says he's not from Nagoya. Yeah, because he asks him if he's not from Nagoya, and then he says he's not as well.
He's like, I'm from Hong Kong.
Yeah, because we get another person not from Nagoya also with that American, in the liquor store later on in the movie too.
Yeah,
it's like this weird thing of like I think I actually have it later on, so I should probably just wait, but. I do think he's trying to say something about outsiders in this movie.
Yeah.
Because, like, the Yakuza are obviously outsiders.
Or at least using that fear of being an outsider in a place.
Yeah, because
that's a horror movie classic, too.
It's a horror movie classic. It's a Yakuza classic. It's just like a gang classic of, like, that's a lot of the reasons people come into gangs is to be part of something.
Yes, exactly. So, like, being in the Yakuza and having that feeling of you're not part of it. Like, yeah. I don't think it overemphasized that point. There's just a...
No, it's there in the background.
Yeah, especially during these scenes, like where he's like looking for him.
This is where we meet the guy with or I just call him the pigment man, because he's got half his face is like white from this pigment disease or whatever. But he meets him because he gets a flat tire with a bone in his car or whatever. But I do like his conversations with this guy, because like he's basically the guy's telling him like. Take a good look. I hate when people look halfway. He's like, and then like he has this the saying of like a friend in need is a friend indeed. And then they go to like the junkyard.
Yeah, he decides to help him. Basically.
Yeah, he decides to help him find another tire for his car. But whenever they get there, he finds the Shiriyama crew is just this like vehicle at this factory or at this junkyard.
And
this old guy's there, and he asks him a question, and he says like, if you get it right, we'll help you, and if you get it wrong,
honestly, I like this question too.
It's a good question, and like I like the hint the guy gives him too, because the question is, what takes but also passes, and then there's a countdown. Like the guy starts counting down from 30, but whenever he hits 20, he goes down to 11, and that's really the hint that the guy needed, or that Minami needed to like, that's time, because like he took. Like, what takes but also passes. Like, time takes but also passes. So it's like he took away, like, literally 10 seconds from his time. So he was like, oh, fuck. At least that's kind of what I think. That's how he kind of...
Plus, that's literally what a countdown does, too.
Just
by itself, a countdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I like it, though. I like it, though. But I do kind of like the very end of this scene because it's basically the guy saying, like, yeah, we'll help you, but we're gonna go at my speed, basically. And he's like, why? Why do we have to go your speed? We have to like hurry. And he's like, no, I'm deciding to help you. Don't be don't be greedy or whatever. And then like some other, and then the guy that asked him the question says like, make haste slowly. And then they just go to he ends up taking him to the Masakazu Inn, which is where shit really starts getting weird.
Okay, this is the creepy hotel.
Yes, and this is also the Sans Soleil homage, maybe, but probably not.
It's just the same cat.
It's just
I don't know if that's like a popular.
It's definitely
it's a popular cat.
It's a popular cat. It's
So
a
it's
popular
probably
cat
not,
in
but,
Tokyo.
Like that's like the cat they worship or something,
like-
or maybe not worship.
But like
they
still, like
respect
of course, when I saw it, I was like, oh, Sans Soleil.
Yeah,
Like-
No, yeah, it's just a bygone factor. I mean, that's how I wrote in my notes too. So like, the Sans Soleil cat. But we figure out that Minami's just gonna stay here for at least one night, and to take there, she basically whenever he gets there, the innkeeper says, "Take him to that room." and you're just like, what the fuck? Okay. And so he gets taken to that room, and it's basically it's kind of implying that the guy with the pigment infection kind of wants to sleep with him. At least that's kind of what Minami thinks is happening here, because like he's trying to stay in the room with him. Because he's also like I forgot to mention, but he's been holding his hand this entire time, just like walking around with him and stuff like that.
So it's kind of funny now that I think about it. We talked about how Hiruko the Goblin kind of one location was similar to Prince of Darkness last week.
Yeah.
We also reviewed The Shining last week, which is a largely one location hotel movie.
Yeah.
We can connect that to Gozu.
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah,
There's a lot more locations than Gozu, but yeah.
But like same like general idea, like hotel.
Haunted. This inn is definitely haunted.
Shit goes mad,
Especially at this point, I feel like it's more the hotel.
No, the inn is definitely the inn is definitely really creepy. It's not entirely in the inn.
No, it's not entirely.
No, it is just like kind of like I mean at least Minami being scared of like the gay or like being thought of as gay is like I think that also plays into the point of like what I was saying before of like this is kind of like what Oshima and Katano have also talked about, like this brotherhood that these guys have. It's a little, there's a secret behind it that there is like that they are like there are some of them gay for sure, like and but that's also that I think that's why he put that scene in here, or like that's why he kind of put this guy in here also. But the owner basically says like, do you want dinner? And they don't have the A course or whatever, but they have B course. So he decides to get B course, and she says you can take a bath. You can take a bath before dinner. And then we get the bath. The first time we see like breast milk in the movie is in the bath scene, because Minami goes to take a bath, and as he's starting to wash his back, the lady owner walks in, and she asks if he wants if he wants her to wash his back. And he's like, he's really uncomfortable. Oh my god, and he's saying like, no, please. And then like she basically like says, you like my boobs or something like that. I have big boobs, don't I, or something like that.
No, she's like, oh, he's like trying to cover his like his stuff, and then she's like, don't cover it. It's so nice.
Yeah,
like,
you don't
like
that. You don't need to cover something that gross or something.
Yeah, it was just,
no, keep going, Blake. Keep going.
Blake loves it.
No. She decides to squeeze her tit, and some breast milk falls out.
Okay,
But
you just didn't need to say that though.
You told me to.
But just the way it's shot too, like a bunch of close-ups, like
it's really good. Yeah. No, she asks if he wants some. And he gets really uncomfortable. Basically said he just like jumps back in the water.
I know
and
who isn't
ignores her.
uncomfortable during
I
this
mean,
scene.
honestly, yes. Yes, no, it's definitely uncomfortable.
It is.
But
Very. And
He
what is
goes-
why is this here?
what do you mean? Why is it here?
What like it's kind of you don't think this means anything like it just like it's not even creepy like is she even bad like is she trying to get him to drink the milk so like
Yeah.
to be possessed or something maybe or what like
Possibly.
I have no idea
I don't
why the
know.
scene's in here like
The foreshadowing for the cow.
Yes.
okay
Something to do with the cow.
Something to do with the cow. I mean, honestly, a lot of this stuff it feels like Miike's just trolling, but
I can see that.
but at the same time, he.
No, there's probably something with the milk too like in general I don't know
Something to do with like mommy issues. Or
Yeah,
something.
maybe.
Like, or like
I mean, I feel like
something to do with his
that's kind of wide.
homosexuality. Maybe like he doesn't want to drink the milk. I don't know where I'm going with.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
I
don't,
don't know what that was
not
about.
everything has to have a meaning. He might just like breast milk, you know.
Yeah. To be fair,
I don't
like,
think he likes it though
I mean, it's. I mean, you could say like same thing about like Armor Cord with the shopkeeper scene.
no that makes way more sense
But it does
to
make
me,
me. Yeah, it
though.
does make sense. Though.
This one, I'm like, why? Like, I don't understand her role in the movie. Basically, though.
I mean, she's kind of just crazy.
Basically, she's already possessed. I guess.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
Blake also wants a beer.
yes.
After all that
Yeah,
segment.
Yeah, just call it out. Yeah, why not? But where are we at? Oh yeah, he he decides to eat dinner, or like he goes back to his room and eats dinner for the night. And I do like after he's done, like we see the like milk starts dripping into his soup. Do you guys remember that from the light fixture up there, up the top of his room? Like milk just starts dropping into his soup. That's so good.
Why do you like that?
That's just fucking good.
We got.
But
Dave, Blake and I are getting exposed this episode.
I get exposed both of you. Well, then we go. So
but no,
the
this
flashback.
I love the flashback. I honestly love this flashback because it cuts to Minami talking to Ozaki in the car, and it's basically this conversation that will come back later, obviously, of his of Minami's circumcision. And
he was
he's
asking
basically
it because of brother, right?
yeah. No, Ozaki's asking to see his penis in the
After
in the
he asked him
scene.
to get the circumcision, I think it was implied.
Yes, or someone asked him to get a circumcision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like the Yakuza or if it was Ozaki or whatever, but yeah, he wants to see it regardless.
Yeah.
So he like literally like forces him to unzip his pants in front of him, which is, I mean, it just goes more into like this
What I was saying,
this
yeah.
reading that we've been seeing. But the one line that I have written down is your wiener looks like Frankenstein. But yeah, no, it's just this is where he gives them the women's
I think it's
underwear.
definitely about the whole Yakuza, like, these kind of power dynamics. Like, you're supposed to respect this guy above you that basically can make you do anything,
Yes.
you know? And sometimes I do use that power,
Yes.
like, to even embarrass you or anything. Or even, you know, obviously have you killed, but
Yeah.
sometimes... But, like, it's weird because, like, he's always making the point that the other guy misses this kind of relationship, too, like...
Yeah, no, it's
like-
implied that they have a really good relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Or that they both
but
like
their
each other
relationship
a
is
lot,
weird,
so-
though. Like, there's a weird
Yeah.
power dynamic here, too. Because he tries to kill him, obviously. But,
Yeah, and maybe he tries to kill him because he doesn't like his feelings for him. You know?
yeah, exactly.
It's a
I
reading.
think, no,
It's a
I, think,
reading.
I definitely
It's a
think what you're
reading,
saying
so-
is there's something there.
But yeah, this is where he gives, like, Ozaki gave him the women's underwear as a present, which it's crotchless women's underwear. And he wakes up. We see this is like all a dream, basically. But he does wake up, and I'm pretty sure he has the underwear with him still. So like, it's this whole thing of like dreams but not dreams, because there's a lot of those in this movie of like he's dreaming, but then like whenever he wakes up, the thing that was given to him in his dream is actually physically there with him still. So, but yeah, after he wakes up, we figure out that dinner has been served and it's a course. And I do like the side eye that he gives to like the 3 glasses of milk that are just sitting there, like, cause he's experienced this lady and her milk and stuff, but he doesn't trust the glasses of milk that are sitting there. But regardless, we see that he walks out, and the guy with the pigment condition is also there. I think his name is his name, we don't know his name right now, I don't think, but his name is Mr. Nose. I'm pretty sure that's his name that we figure out later. But they decide to go change his tire, And then they go back to the restaurant where he lost Ozaki. And whenever they're at this restaurant there, Mr. Nose basically asks, you should ask those two guys that are sitting over there, like, again, basically. Maybe they just don't remember. Maybe they didn't remember him yesterday, but maybe they'll remember him today, like if you ask where he is. And so he was like, okay, I'll go over there and do it for you, basically. So he goes on over, and whenever he goes over there, the two guys recognize him and basically draw him into, like, this, like... It's implied that they're drawing him into this, to, like, this death almost. Because, it feels like no one in this building is still alive.
Well, one of the guys is the guy that keeps repeating the temperature thing.
Yes, one of them is, yeah. Yeah,
so,
they're stuck in this...
drawing to this dream. Or
it's like they're stuck in this place, basically. And it's basically like he's, like... This guy
I like the way how they draw him in. It's like, you're from high school, aren't you?
Nozichi.
And that's how they draw him in, basically.
Yeah. And then he ends up starting to remember them, too. But, I do like, I'm pretty sure Minami comes over there, and then he starts kind of basically just freaking out because he wants to figure out where his brother is. But I think he ends up leaving because, Minami says he doesn't want to help him anymore and that he should hire a private eye. Like, he never really wanted to help in the first place. Yeah, exactly. To get him basically to leave.
Yeah. And it's so sudden, like, it's kind of implied that he's kind of shocked.
He's kind of shocked about it. But Minami goes back to the inn after that. And whenever he gets back, we see that the brother and the sister are just in there, kind of doing something. This isn't what you guys are thinking of yet, I don't think. But basically, he walks in, and the sister, the owner, starts talking, like saying, "My brother is basically a psychic. Do you believe in all this? He can like channel the spirit if you want him to, and then like maybe you can figure out where your missing person is here from this." And then this is just a weird ass scene of her beating the brother, and then it's also a weird scene, uncomfortable, but also really funny. To me, because I think it's hilarious.
There's a funny one. She's like, "If you can't, you have to try that service." Or
yes, service is our motto, is what she says. Because like she's beating him, and he's like, "I can't do it, I can't do it," and he's like, "Stop beating him, he can't do it." He's like, "He has to try though, because service is our greatest motto," or something like that. It's so fucking funny. I thought it was hilarious. But
I still don't get exactly what he's making fun of, or like. I don't know. It's funny though. It's funny.
I thought it was. But as they're running out, it's at least implied that maybe this was the catalyst to bring, like, maybe Mr. Nose is dead because he just appears. He just appears where the brother was sitting whenever he was trying to, like, channel the spirit, basically. Oh, okay. You guys remember this? Because, like, Minami basically starts walking out, and then he gets jump scared, even though we aren't jump scared because of the way the camera moves, like we see him first. But Minami doesn't, and so he gets jump scared by him just like appearing in there. So at least kind of implied that he might be dead. Because this is where where Mr. Nose is basically telling Minami about the coffee shop owner being dead for 3 years.
Yes.
Like he's been dead. He died in a car crash and he's been dead for 3 years. He's also saying how scared he is.
Yeah.
He's like, Minami, I'm scared. But I think he ends up... Yeah, he tells him that they told him a man in his late 40s walked in whenever he was in the bathroom, whenever Minami was in the bathroom the day before puking. That man in his late 40s walked in asking to buy gluttonous rice. And that was at a rice shop.
And so, this is where it's like...
Yeah.
Have you guys seen The Game?
I have.
David Fincher? There's parts of this that starts to feel like The Game a little, where he's like, he can't tell if he's being like basically led on into these points by Minami.
For sure. I can see that. Yeah.
Because it's like he's like barely missing him at certain points.
Literally barely.
I need to watch The Game again. I remember not loving it, but I like the concept.
The main thing I remember though is the ending,
like with the lights and everything.
When he's falling through the glass at the end. I think.
I remember the fall, but isn't the very end like that? It's revealed that it's like a trick or something. Somehow?
Well, anyway.
I forgot how the trick was revealed. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Yeah,
I don't even remember. I prefer the ending reveal. Now You See Me Too.
Okay.
True knowers.
Okay, yes sir. True ball knowers.
Yeah.
We need to review those movies.
No, did we not do anything? We considered it.
We really don't need
one of the best.
Come on, yes we do.
Damn, they need to make a third one so I can say one of the best trilogies. Doesn't even matter.
We need to start the cinephile.
The revival.
What's the name for that?
Revival. Renaissance.
No, the reappraisal of those movies.
Yes, they're bad. Reappraised.
No, they deserved it.
They're bad.
Anyway, yeah.
Stop. When's the last time you watched them?
A while ago.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You weren't enough
because they're not that
appreciate
great.
them.
You know, I could tell Sai was very influenced by
Moving on. Moving on. He goes to the rice store. The rice owner basically tells him about Ozaki went to the liquor store to look for red bean paste and some other thing. And this is where we get like more of this outsider stuff, because this is where the rice owner tells him like you shouldn't go though, because like the liquor store owner's like, she's American. And you shouldn't buy Japanese sake from America or something like that. Just giving more of an outsider.
But doesn't someone else tell him like, but the American makes the best Japanese sake?
She does. Yeah, he does say that she shouldn't be. She's more Japanese than us Japanese. Is like something he says. Which is, I mean, it's.
I was gonna say we get some Michael Bay moments here with him standing behind the American flag, the huge American flag right behind him.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but Michael Bay would be way more obvious. So
honestly, I like the scene though too.
No,
this is actually one of the best scenes, like
where
like he's talking to the store owners, right? Or, like, actually, they might not know that.
They are. They're the store. They're
working
owners.
there anyway.
No, they're the store owners. Yeah,
where they're like
the wife and her
right
husband.
above them.
Yeah,
yeah. Damn, that's so funny. Honestly, like, imagine if you're talking to someone and then you find out they're like reading.
They're reading a
script.
script.
You thought they were natural. That's where we're at, right? We're like,
that's where we're at.
Yeah,
because he's asking her like, okay, you saw him, where'd he go? Basically,
that's what.
And she's like, I sent him to the. She's reading it, and he like looks behind him, and then he starts reading it too, and we see that she basically told him to go to the Masakazu Inn also, and so Minami rushes back there, and this is where it gets extremely weird. Yeah. So he gets back. And he rushes in. It's honestly really it's shot really well whenever he rushes in. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like really creepy and stuff. And then we just get that it's really well lit. We get the room with that really weird glow. And then he opens up the door, and we see the brother is packaging milk, and we see the sister is squirting milk into bottles. So
dead silence.
That was the longest pause we've ever had on the podcast.
I think it's funny, but
it's just too much though. Like,
no one wanted to fill the space there.
Yeah, no, it's like honestly, yeah, you just have to watch the movie.
I mean, yes, if you haven't watched this movie, you're in for a treat. So, but basically, Minami thinks this is weird. But he still needs to figure out information, so he goes to talk to the sister, and he's basically asking, where did Ozaki come back, basically? And she says...
this is the scene where they're scoring milk. It does hard cut to them, like, chanting a ritual, where they say something, those who provide milk are more blessed than those who drink it.
Yes, that's before... I'm
still
right before
Oh, you're still...
that.
Okay,
yeah, so I'm just saying, she's basically saying he came by at 1, and we let him stay in the storage room, which is the room directly above Minami's. And then it cuts to them at that secret entrance, basically, chanting that. What was it again? You can go ahead and say it again.
It's just those who provide milk are more blessed than those who drink it. So I guess that kind of explains like why she's like so willing to...
Not really, though.
She does squirt milk in his face, also. I had to get that out there before.
That also sounds like something like an innkeeper... would like say.
It does, yeah.
Okay.
You know, like those who provide rooms or something, you know, basically those.
It's also it also feels like maybe a little bit of this power dynamic that you were talking about. Like they're they're providing like the older brother in the Yakuza provides or is supposed to provide for his younger brothers. So he's more blessed than the ones receiving. But
it's just these last. Okay,
moving on.
We're getting to these last.
Yeah, so she shows him to the room that Ozaki stayed at before, and it's honestly a really sweet. It's a sweet looking room. It's just got those really dope ass paintings around it. And Minami kneels down and he says he smells his brother's scent. That's how he knows he was there. And so he basically says like, how do I stay in this room tonight because he might come back. And she says, like, we don't usually allow people to do this, but we'll charge you the normal rent and you can stay here. So he does. And this is where we get the cow dream.
The cow dream.
So he's laying in bed, and then he wakes up. It's not like it's not really at this point we don't know he's like it's another one of these like waking dream moments where he's just kind of like awake and then he sees like the light changes. I'm pretty sure to like this red glow, and he sees this fucking just guy in a cow mask or a cow head with a cow head on, just drooling milk, and it gives him a package. Which we found out later is a letter. But before just like licking him all over the face, like it's really gross, really creepy, really cool.
Why is this cow here? Why is this cow here to give him a letter?
Gozu means cowhead.
Oh.
That doesn't really make it any more like clear, but sure.
Like this explains the title of the movie.
Gozu. I don't know. I mean, it's the whole thing about...
That might be a famous Yakuza thing. Like,
well, it's also the whole thing about, like, the one who provides milk is more blessed than the one who receives, you know? A cow provides milk.
I was thinking, like, you know, The Godfather where they put the horse head in the bed to, like, intimidate
people? Well, it's also...
I don't know
that image is, like,
they do cow heads, but...
Honestly, that image is so, like...
That image is...
burned in my head.
The horse
In The Godfather, that scene. Oh,
yes.
my God.
Yes.
No. I mean, it is kind of implied that the lady that the innkeeper in this is providing milk, kind of like a cow would to the rest of the city.
And that quote is what I was kind
of well, it's also like they're packaging milk that we see. Like if you pay attention to that little kid that we see drinking milk every once in a while in the background, it's the same cup that they've been filling and that we see being.
Dude, the fact that you say that she's providing milk for the city now, it confirms. Like I was gonna say this earlier, but I didn't say it. Remember the Futurama episode with the slurm?
The slurm, yes.
Slurm. Yep.
Yes, sir.
And then they find out how the slurm was made.
Sir.
It was just from like one mother, basically.
Yeah, one giant slurm mother.
Yeah.
It just pisses out.
That's a better version of this.
Oh God, how dare you!
That's a great episode.
It is a great episode, though. I agree. But
because the funniest part is like after the whole episode, Fry still like drinks one after.
Yes,
after he finds out how it's made and everything.
He's like drinking it as he's finding out.
Sure.
Oh, it's so good. But during this dream, like, he also glimpses Kazu drinking his sister's breast milk, you know, before he wakes up.
You know, just another part of the movie.
Yeah, just another part of the movie.
Skip right on it.
Skip right. Manami wakes up with the packages that the creature gave him, and it's a note from Ozaki saying he will meet him at the dump. So at the dump, we figure out this is kind of where... I mean, it's been implied this is where the Yakuza disposes of all their dead bodies. Anyway, this entire movie, but now we're actually there. And these people are, like, these guys are honestly, like, they're so morbid, but they're also really funny, too. Like, because, like, I'm especially thinking of the shot that we see, like, this guy, like, what does he say? No, the guy, like, I didn't write it down what he says. Like, because Minami, like, walks in there, and he's asking them, like, that's what, I did write down. He asks, the guy in there asks, like, who he wants disposed of. Like, he just keeps on asking him, basically. Like, there's those two guys.
Sitting there.
One of them's just sitting there saying, like, who do you want disposed of? And the other guy's just the one kind of, like, talking. And he's basically asking, like, did you see Ozaki? And he's like, yeah, we saw him. He came here, he killed over. He's dead. He died. So we pressed him. And I love the cut to them pressing him because, like, after he says we pressed him, like, Minami, like, it just cuts right to them just, like, standing in, like, this quick shot of them pressing him.
It's like blood coming out of the car.
Yeah, blood coming out of the car. And then Minami just, like, freaks out, like, you pressed him! You pressed my brother! And then he's
but that's what's funny, too, because he also tried to kill him.
Yes, he
That's
did.
what makes it so funny. It's like, now he's so mad about it.
Yeah, he's so mad about it.
And this is like what your job was. Like,
you were supposed to take him to the milk. And you did.
Exactly.
And it happened. I mean, I got there somehow.
Like, we found a body in the car and we did our job.
Yeah, we did our job.
That's what they say.
I mean, literally, that's what
I think he's, like, knocked out in the car or something. That's what they say.
Yeah, well, they said he's dead.
Or he's dead in the
Which
car.
he was. He was dead in the car whenever. I mean, whenever he was dead. But... They did save the innards for some reason.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Which and then we see that they also saved the skin. Which this scene is also really creepy. Like just one of the creepier scenes of just like they have just like this whole skin suit rack of like all these Yakuza like skins basically. Like it's just so.
I think that he's trying to say
cool.
something about like this is how they treat their bodies. You know, like
it's how they treat their bodies. It's also
like they save the skin and the intestines more. They actually care about the person. Maybe I don't know. Like,
I mean, maybe it also definitely goes into like this whole thing of like Ozaki's literally traded into his male organs though for a female body because like that's the next thing we see. It's like he goes down to his car And then he just gets kind of freaked out because this lady asks him something. Did I write down what she asked him? I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I wrote down what she asked him. But she basically says she's Ozaki. And he's like, that's impossible. You can't be Ozaki. And then she tells him, she recites the same circumcision story.
Now we realize why we needed the circumcision scene.
Yes, exactly.
why they put that
We
in the
needed
script,
it.
yeah. Why they had to have that random memory in the script.
You like that one? The one guy is like I think it's from Charlie Day. He's like. To
get the strings, yes.
Okay, I don't think this movie all connects.
Oh, it does.
It does.
But the circumcision does.
Yeah.
No, yeah, because she also starts telling him all the other secrets that he only told Ozaki. Like he's still a virgin. The first time he masturbated was to dogs mating, which is so weird. And then just more stuff like that. But this convinces Minami that she is who she says he is. So they leave. And as he's talking on the payphone with the boss again, basically kind of telling him that he's bringing in someone. I don't think he tells the boss who he's bringing in yet.
No.
But he basically says that. And we find that he walks out and Ozaki's gone again. But he sees that this time, like, she's just gone with this trucker, basically. Like, she's basically just she's acting like a prostitute.
Yeah.
And he gets really mad. And then they stay at this love hotel at night. And it's like... This is, like, where the sexual tension between them, obviously, is, like, kind of just screaming. Like, the sexual tension, maybe, that Minami's been feeling this whole time, obviously, is just, like, even more exacerbated. Because now he's a woman.
Like, should learn their lesson. Like, don't go to hotels anymore in this movie, bro. Like, it's gonna go wrong.
I mean, honestly. Yeah, because, like, as she's sleeping, he's, like, pulls back the covers, kind of just to check out she's, like, actually real. Because, like, he pushes her boob for a second, then he, like, pulls back real quick. But, he starts hearing words come from her groin area. Words like Gozu, and then, some other words, like, I'm pretty sure Amore's in there. Like, yeah, it's just, like, love. Yeah, he just starts hearing some weird things, and then as he starts pulling it back, she wakes up. And she basically asks, like, do you want to have sex? And he says, no, please no. And then it just kind of just goes to the next morning after that. So, like, it kind of ends there. For now. Because the next morning, we go and see the boss, actually, for the first time. Again. And Minami, he's told the boss what went down and that this person is Ozaki. And they obviously don't believe him at all. And then whenever she actually comes in, she says she's someone different. So now they definitely don't believe Minami. And I don't remember exactly who she says she is. So it's implied that it's no one, like, obviously no one real. Yeah. Just like this fake person she made up that she knew would get him to take her back home. The boss. Yeah, the boss to take her back home. Because we've come back to the boss. Yeah, as we know, she's Ozaki. She knows the boss thinks only with his dick. Exactly. So she knows exactly what he wants to do. Exactly. And so she convinces him to take them back. And whenever they go back to the apartment... things go a little crazy. So the boss gets very excited to have sex with her and goes over to his spoon cabinet, where it has all these spoons that he likes to shove up his ass. And this one that we saw before that he was using that just says hard. It's his hard spoon.
Yeah. And he says it so casually. He's like, I can't get it up without this.
Yes, I can't get it up without this.
Like, I'm sure you'll understand.
Which also just goes more into, like, the gay allegory too, or just like this the homosexual allegory. But yeah, it's so, like, this whole ending is just insane because, like, I love Miike. I love him because he just shows the guy, like, actually just sticking up his ass. It's like just all the uncomfortableness that comes with it, and then as they're about to start getting it on, like, Minami falls down from a hose attached to the ceiling and was basically, like, screaming outside the window, like, save me. And he goes over, gets him in, like, the boss goes over, gets him in, and then starts basically beating him up because Minami says, like, I'm not going to let you have Ozaki. And so the boss starts beating him up. And then Minami punches him once in the face. This man falls over, lands directly on the spoon. And this is very
that was going to happen, right?
For sure.
I knew. I was like,
for sure.
But it hangs on it so long.
It does, but I think it hangs on it long because it's definitely trying to be uncomfortable, but this is why it's also trying to be hilarious, and I think it's funny. The faces he makes are hilarious.
I stopped watching.
The faces he makes are hilarious.
The sounds are so bad. Yeah.
They are terrible, but the faces he makes are hilarious, dude.
No, and the worst cut is like the wide shot where you see how deep it went in his body.
But before that, like, he's not done yet, obviously. Like, he's still alive, so he has to grab a lamp.
That
and
part
he
was
shocks
creative.
him right in
That was creative.
He shocks him right with the spoon, or shoved right up his ass.
That was
so
creative.
good.
That's a creative way to kill someone.
Yeah.
It was already.
You don't see that every day.
You definitely don't see that every day. Oh, it's so good. But yes, after that's all done, Ozaki's turn to fuck on. And Minami basically says, like, they go, he gives her the crotchless panties that he got from Ozaki at the beginning, or at their that flashback that we saw, and then they go to have sex. And as they're having sex, his penis gets stuck because it's so big, at least is what we think.
No.
But no, that's not what actually happened. He drags her.
You know, this is stuff I can really relate to.
Yeah. Until now.
So they're attached. His penis is stuck inside her, and they're pulling. He's basically like trying to get it out. So they're moving. They're pulling back into this room, and we figure out. I honestly love this because it's hilarious. Also, where it's like he finally does start to pull it out. And we just find, like, it's a hand. Like, we figure out it's a hand, but at first you have no fucking idea what's holding onto his dick because something just starts coming out of her vagina. But whenever he finally does actually pull his dick out, there's this cork popping sound that I think is just so funny. Like, it's so funny. It's just like, I just start laughing. But it's just like, it's just more, it's so absurd. But then it's just like this shot of just the hand just out. Oh, it's so gross, so good. But... yeah, she gives birth to Ozaki.
The end.
I literally wrote in my note, funny sound when the head pops out.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. It was whenever she actually gave birth to him. Like that's whenever the pop came, not whenever he pulled his dick out. So like that's what in my notes it's like she gives birth to Ozaki, and then the pop as he fully emerges is so funny. It's so fucking funny. Oh, it's so weird, dude. It's
it
so
reminds
weird.
me of it's a very different scene, but in The Wind Rises.
I thought you were gonna say Julie Jim.
The Wind Rises when the earthquake starts at the very beginning. You know when they're like running and he like helps the girl.
Yeah.
There's like a very short moment where you hear that.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of similar to that. It's a very different context.
Very different.
I thought that you were gonna say,
but it's using that quiet sound when you're expecting like a different sound, basically.
Yeah.
And like it feels louder almost, just because of that.
Yeah, but the movie, I mean, it ends after that with just. I think it ends with a voiceover from Minami just saying like we put her in the water and then she was fine, and then it just ends with them three walking like arm in arm down the street. Which I still don't really know exactly what that's saying, but...
yeah, what is that saying? Like,
I mean, my whole thing this time has been like...
are they all
it's like a homosexual allegory. That's been my whole thing this time, but I have no idea what this is. Like, what the ending is actually trying to say. Like, maybe they finally... like, he's finally accepted it, is what it's saying. Like, he doesn't have to be a woman to love... to, like... for him to love him. I don't know.
Why do they all three of them walk out together? Like,
I don't know. It's an interesting ending, though. It's a very interesting movie. But, I mean, I guess the last shot is just the woman laughing in your face. That's one reason why I think this is also just Miike trolling at the end of the day.
Alright. He did troll me, make me watch that one death. Like, honestly, the whole movie is like, it's not too gory, I would say.
Oh, no, it's not gory.
It literally is just a
No, it's just
that are, like,
uncomfortable.
ingrained in your brain.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so uncomfortable.
I can never see this.
Yeah, it's just very uncomfortable, which is one reason why I think it's so fun. Well, because it's like uncomfortable, but it's also really funny too. Like, I think it's really funny, like I already said.
There are funny moments for sure. I don't know if we agree about all the same funny moments, but
you'll agree next time. Kind of like the river.
Kind of
like the river.
When are you gonna rewatch this, Danny? Yeah, damn it. You gonna rewatch?
Yes, sir.
No, because like you know what I mentioned on The Shining, where like when Danny's that scene where he's like still looking.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there are definitely people that watch this movie that are like that, but I'm not like that. I'm like perfectly inclined to close my eyes during like the whole scene.
Okay. How dare you?
Yeah. Dude, especially when he falls in that spoon, like.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that I saw it coming and it like lasts so long and it's like.
But you
I guess
have
it
to
is more
watch the
realistic.
facial reactions. They're so
I
funny.
definitely saw his face where he's like, ooh, like, yeah. No, because he definitely finishes too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
No, he
shows
definitely
him,
does.
yeah, so,
He has a happy ending at least,
yeah.
in both ways.
Anyway.
What are we doing next week?
What are we doing next week, Danny? That was Gozu.
Yeah,
So
it's Gozu.
great
All
movie.
right. Well, next week we'll start our Bresson series.
Hard right turn.
Hard right turn.
Yeah.
You
think Bresson would like Gozu?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe Hiro. Maybe.
I think we'll like Gozu.
Hiruko.
Yeah. He like B movies. Like he like James Bond and stuff like that.
I think he will like Gozu.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. You don't even see that.
But see,
many
the
Bressons,
thing is, Gozu, like, you don't have to like it, which is fair. Like, it's very uncomfortable, but it's a great movie just in terms of like filmmaking. Like I like great imagery, lighting, like every technical aspect of like a film. It's great, phenomenal movie.
I'll say just the storytelling, maybe.
It's a very
What's
interesting
lacking.
way to tell a story, though. Like it's
Interesting way to
it's an
tell it.
interesting
I don't know
way
if
to
I
tell
like
us
the
descent
story,
into
though,
madness. So.
It's tapping a lot. It has a lot
Oh,
in
it
it.
is,
So,
yeah.
so. But yeah, next week we'll start with Bresson, with Diary of a Country Priest and A Man Escaped.
What happens in A Man Escaped?
You'll have to watch it. Find out.
I wonder
what happens.
Wait, have you seen it?
No.
All right.
I've only seen Trial of Joan of Arc.
You'll never
and
believe what
Mouchette-
happened.
Mouchette,
You'll never
so
believe what happens.
I'll never believe it. I'll never see it coming.
Yeah.
All right. Until next. Oh yeah.
Until next week, we hope to see you guys floating through the clouds.
Wait, you playing Pokemon now?
Yes, sir.
Wait, what do you
Hey,
think?
that's another reason
Which-
why reading's better, though. I love it. Like,
No, yeah.
'Cause, like, a movie-
no, after I get done with
reading-
all this Pokemon shit.
Wait, what are you playing? Which Pokemon game are you playing? Hold on.
Pokemon
Yeah,
Emerald right now.
Okay, let me see your team. Let me check it out.
Let me see your team.
I got.
Yeah.
Let me keep this. Oh, Star Wars Portrait. Let's go. Blaziken's my
yeah.
favorite Pokemon. So Taylor. Okay.
I named him TT because of Visage.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
Damn, not a.
I can't. I watched a lot of movies.
You
dog.
read the movie. You don't.
Hold on, go back. I wasn't meant fucking days talking.
Fucking Danny's talking.
Okay, we're all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Curly, like Gardevoir is essential.
What are the Pokemon?
Okay, Beautify, get rid of him. He fucking
No,
sucks.
yeah, I had to have him
Asmorola
right now.
fucking sucks too.
No, yeah, I had to.
Geodude
have him
kinda
right
sucks,
now.
especially 'cause you
Geodude has to. He sucks, but I had to use him.
Hold on,
against the
if you
electric
need some
gyms, so-
recommendations, I played through Hoenn so many times. I know
Oh, yeah.
exactly what. Like, you should get like honestly, get Sharpedo as your water Pokemon. Sharpedo. So.
I haven't gotten there yet.
So yeah, no, you can get them. after you complete the fire gym, which I think you're close to doing, because you're going away to Meteor Falls right now.
Yeah.
So when you do the fire gym,
no, I'm just kidding.
you're gonna go back to Kid Heidelberg. You're gonna fight Norman. Okay. And once you beat your daddy,
once you beat your daddy,
you get surf, and you can. But then when you're surfing across from east of Mauville, talk to the fisherman across the water. He'll give you the good rod, and then fish with the good rod right where you're at, and then you can get Carnivore, and then it evolves into Torpedo. Dude, it's so good.
Pokemon.
I got all that on tape.
I fucking love it.
I got all that on tape.